Okay, so as promised, here is my processor upgrade. It's going to be a sort of guide update video. New processor. Got myself a 3770K. Right, so basically, to get into this, to change the processor, I've got to pull my motherboard out. That's quite warm. So I've just moved everything from this drive to this one. I'll get processor out. Motherboard, RAM, graphics card, everything basically, except power supply and drives. Drives can stay where they are. So first things first is I'm gonna go around, pull the power cables out, and get my graphics card out of there. I'm gonna pop my phone here. You should get a decent view of what I'm doing. So pull these out. Of course, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have no that you discharge yourself for static. Otherwise, you could cause issues. So let's pull this out, and got little thumb screws here on my graphics card. So let's get these out. Right, so now I'm making this update video, I'm actually a bit more sure of what I'm doing, because when I made the last one on Monday, I was in between what I was doing. I didn't know whether I was going to be staying on at college. I didn't know if I was going to be getting a job, getting an apprenticeship. For those who don't know what an apprenticeship is, if you know what an internship is, an apprenticeship is basically that, but you get paid. I don't know how well you can hear me right now, but here we go. It's my graphics card, it's a little bit dusty. Here we go, 6870. It's my graphics card. I'm going to pop that up on top of my fish tank, which is where my camera is right now. Right, so now I've got that out of the way, let's pull this out, get all these wires out of here. This one, this block here, all my SATA cables. Okay, we've got to bring it a bit closer. Right. My SATA cables, I've got all of them. Let's get this big block out of the way. Let's just pop that up there like that for now. I've got all my SATA cables here. This is basically like it's pretty much going to be a system build guide, because of what I'm doing is pulling out everything, because this is an AMD based system. So we've got all those wires out. Just got this last little one tucked away up here. This is the main power for the processor, and it's in a really incredibly awkward place. I'm going to need both hands for this, I think. So let me just position that there again. You can see sort of what I'm doing. Right, get this in here. There we go, got that out. Right, so there we go. That's the motherboard completely disconnected. Pull the RAM out as well. Just these little clips up here. There we go. I am sort of holding the camera with my hand because I don't have a tripod because it's my phone. There we go. Pull those out. That's Corsair Vengeance 1600 megahertz of, and it's 8 gigs in total. So next thing, one of my things that I'm well practiced at, and that's pulling out the processor. I'm well practiced at that because I've done it so frequently because of the issues it's caused me, or the motherboard's caused me. I don't. Right. Screwdriver. That's what I'm going to need. I tell you what, I'll try doing this. I should be able to do this one-handed. It should be fairly easy. I'm well practiced in this, like I say. So I'm not going to take this plate here. It's what's holding this warp block on. I'm not going to take that all the way off. I am going to just loosen it off enough for me to be able to twist that off. Then you're going to see one of the first of my bad practices for cleaning thermal paste. It's not a recommended way to do it, but it's the way I do it, and it works for me. If you try it for yourself and you damage your computer, I take no responsibility. Just want to point that out there. Right, so that's that. Is that loosened off enough? No. Okay, let's loosen these screws off a bit more. Right, so yeah, like I was saying, on Monday I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't know whether I was staying on a college, job, apprenticeship, stuff like that, but I'm a bit more certain of what I'm doing now. I'm staying on at college, because I've sort of been speaking to them during the week, because basically when you're in the UK, when you're 19, you get, or up till the age of 19, you get free education. Just gonna pop this like this. There. This could, well, it might work. You might be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm just pulling this little plate off around the water block and twisting the water block. There we go. Just twisted it, just enough so I can pull it off like that. Let's just sit that. It needs to be sat somewhere out of the way. Good thing it's nice and flexible. There we go. Actually, it's down there on the power supply. Yeah. So, like I say, I've spoken to the college during the week, and because, like I say, up to the age of 19 in the UK, you get free education. I'm 19 now, which means when I would start my next year of college, I'm actually 20. Well, technically it's up to the age of 18, as long as you enroll on the college course when you're 18. It doesn't matter if you're 19 when you start. So basically I was 18 when I enrolled, so technically up to the age of 18 you get free education. And college courses, they get expensive. I'm just going to pop the processor out now. They get expensive, they really do. The course costs can run in the thousands to get onto it. And so I don't have that much money. I'm a student. I live with my mum still. I don't have that kind of money. And so what they can do is they can help you pay for it. And I found out that in my situation, they'll actually pay for the whole course. So I will be staying on at college for another year, which I'm happy about. It's a good thing for me because I've had trouble with school and stuff in the past, and college is a good place for me. I'm sort of redeeming myself, so to speak. But yeah, what I'm using now to clean off the thermal paste is some cotton wool, some nail varnish remover. Like I say, it's one of the things that is not recommended, but it works because nail varnish remover does have alcohol in it, and that's what a lot of thermal paste remover is made of, alcohol. My whole processor is warm still. So if you look, I've got full of thermal paste there. If I just start rubbing this, it comes off nicely. I mean, the only reason I'm cleaning this is because this is going into storage. I'm going to be putting this away, and when I come to use it again, which I will likely do because this is a decent processor, it's not bad. When I come to use it again, it's already nice and clean. I don't have to go through that process of cleaning it, so that's nice. So there we go, clean enough for now. And that's one of my bad practices. So I'm just going to put my processor back in the original case it came in. There we go. Processor's in storage now. Going to be stored away for until I come to use it next. I'm going to pop that over there for now. The next one. Right. I'm now looking to see, because I've got to find all the screws. Find all the screws from the motherboard. There's one up there. There's one back there. I want to see if I can get to all of these without having to take out my without having to take this out. I want to leave that in there if I can. And let's pop that back there so you can still see it. So, right, I need to move this wire out of here. Now this wire is here because originally the water cooling setup, I need to clean that off, it would power the fan as well, but I power the fan from my fan controller on my case because I can lower the speed down and make it nice and quiet. Because that fan that came with it, it's the original fan that came with the water cooler, and it is loud as sin. It really is. Right, let's move this out of the way, and let's get into doing this. Have I got my ratchet screwdriver to hand? No, typically I haven't. Right, okay, that's cool. I'll do it the old-fashioned way with one of these. So if I work from the bottom up, that'll be the best place to go. So bottom there, one screw. So yeah, like I say, I'm more certain of what I'm doing this for the next year. After that, I'm not so sure because there is the high potential that I'm going to be moving to Wales. Just want to make sure you can see in. Yeah, if I tilt my computer a little bit, seeing a bit more of what I'm doing. Yeah, that's a better way of doing it. Yeah, so like I say, in the next year or so, there is a high possibility I'm going to be moving to Wales. So after this year of college, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. It depends. It all depends on when I move, because it's really not a case of if, it's more a case of when now. Shit. So yeah, it's depending on when I move. It will depend on what I want to do, because I want to get an apprenticeship. Because if you can't tell from my channel, I love trains. I'm a huge fan of trains. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Some people don't get that. People don't get why people love trains, but I love the engineering behind them. They're big, massive things. They weigh hundreds of thousands of tons. They're like hundreds of tons, or in some cases thousands of tons. They're so powerful and they're so big, and I love the engineering that's behind them that makes them work. And it would be my dream job to be working on trains. I plan on getting an apprenticeship as a train maintenance engineer, because I am trained in engineering. I have a level 2 qualification in performing engineering operations, so it's a good place for me to be. It's the sort of thing I like to do. And what I want to do, like I say, in all honesty, is I want to be a train driver. That is my dream job, let's say, because I don't know, when I've told people before that's what I want to do, is my dream job to be a train driver, they're like, why would you want to be a train driver? And all I say is, why wouldn't I be? I mean, you get to travel the country in a train in, I would say, relative comfort. You get to see sights that only train drivers get to see on their routes, like the sights that if you're in a car you can't see them. They run through the countryside where there are no roads. You get some amazing sights there. Ooh, I can just get into that screw. You get some amazing sights being a train driver. I mean, you get to see. It's like there's only a few trains in the world, I think, where you can actually see, where passengers can see out the front. So you get to see things that your passengers can't. It's, in my opinion, it's an amazing job. It really is, and it's a job I know that's difficult to actually obtain. Shit, I dropped that screw. Good thing I know where it went. It's a job where it's difficult to obtain. You have to be like a certain age to drive a train. You have to be 21, I believe, to drive a train on. Actually, no, take it back. You have to be 21 to drive a train unsupervised. But you can be trained 18 to drive a train. But a lot of companies, from what I understand, don't want to train 18-year-olds to drive trains because they can't put them out to work straight away. Like recently, there was an opening that came up of London Midland for a trainee train driver, and I think they're quite rare for them to come out outside of the company. A lot of the time the company want to employ people that work already in their companies, and so, in my opinion, quite a rare opportunity. But because I'm 19, I'm too young to apply for it. And there we go, here is the problem child. The problem child is my motherboard, my Asus Crosshair 4 formula. And now I've got it out is when I'm going to take off the, actually that's stuck on there nicely. Now I've got it out, I'm going to be taking the little retaining mount for the water block off completely. So I'm just going to undo these by hands. But yeah, like I say, train driver, it's an amazing job in my opinion. It's something I would love to do, whether it's driving passenger trains or freight trains. I would love to do it. It's a dream job for me. If I can get a job as a train driver, which I am going to do my best to do, I will be the happiest person I know. I really would. It's a perfect job. From as early as I can remember, one of the earliest times I remember saying I wanted to be a train driver, I was sitting on Luton platform with my dad on my way home from his, and big old HST pulled in. It was in the old Intercity livery, the old Intercity Swallow livery, and I was sitting there, probably about 4 years old, sitting at the platform. It pulled in and stopped. I remember remarking on what the train smelt like. My mum's now shouting at my dog. I remember remarking on what the train smelt like, because it left a really bad smell that sort of stuck around for a bit. And I was 4 years old, of course I'm going to complain about the smell. Smell now, I don't care about it, I like it. But I remember sitting there saying to my dad that I wanted to be a train driver. And it's... throughout the years I've gone through points of loving trains and sort of forgetting about them, I suppose, and not taking much of an interest in them. But I can't get this off. But I've always come back to trains. I've said I wanted to be a firefighter, I wanted to be all sorts. But train driver, it's always been there. It's always what I wanted to be. And now I'm at an age where I'm going out to look for a job. I am going to pursue that dream of being a train driver. There we go, got these out now. I'm going to pursue that dream. Because like I say, it's what I want to do. I'm going to pull off. Actually, I'm not going to pull that off, I might as well leave it on because I don't need it. There's a little, basically there's a back plate on this here. And it's got the little screw heads in that I need. So I need to pop these out. And I need these for my other motherboard, which I'm going to get in a second. That's not going to work. Right. Right, yeah. God, it's hard to grip. I'm going to care about this. It's a good thing I have these to hand. There we go, there's one. There's two. Yeah, and when I did my engineering college course, performing engineering operations, they actually had some apprentices there from First Great Western doing their college stuff, and they were working in train maintenance on the Old Oak Common on the HSTs, and I think they had class. Fuck's sake, I can't get this out. It keeps popping out pliers. I think they had 160s in there. Is it 160s that I'm thinking of? Yeah. Or no, 166s. Sorry. Yeah. I think they had them there that worked on, and I think they also got a couple of the 180s. The what's the name from? Is it the Adante? Yeah, I think it's the Atalantes. They got a couple of them there. And they like the Atalantes. I don't think they like the 166s so much. But yeah, it's a job I would love to do it. I really would. Come on, get out of it, you bastard. But yeah, I'm not likely to be working for First Great Western because they don't operate in Wales. And my mum just walked in conveniently. Right, let's pop that there and get the old box out for the old crosshair 4 box. So I've still got it. Okay. I'm going to put this motherboard away now, and it's going to be going away for a very long time. I plan on getting like a picture frame or something, hang it on my wall, just so first motherboard had to die on me. So let's get this and just put it in here. I said put it in here. Come on, go in. Don't make it look stupid now. There we go. Pop that in there and put it back in the other box later. I'll just chuck it in my bed for now. Yeah, so there we go. Like I say, if I do work up in Wales, it's not likely to be on First Great Western, because they don't operate up there, because it would be up over in Crewe, likely where I would work. I need to grab, let's move that hairdryer out of the way, because that's going to be something I need, and you'll see why I need that in a bit. God, there's so much crap over here that I've piled on top of my water box. I need this box. This box is important. It really is. Right. Let's grab my thermal paste down. I use Antec Formula 5. I like this stuff. There's only one thing I don't like about it, and you'll see what that is. There we go. Right. new motherboard, MSI Z77A G45. That's what I'm using in this. So I need to get this out. Just put this crap over here. Though they say not to use a driver disc, I will because I'm lazy. Yeah, that's an important thing that I need to do. Forgot about that. Well, I remember. Let's set that down there and pop out this. The old back plate. No longer need that one because it won't fit. Right, so first things first, before I even get the motherboard out, I'm going to open this up. There we go, I'm going to open up this. And it's going to go in this way, I believe. Yes, it is. There goes, new motherboard backplate. Doesn't have quite as many USBs on it. Yeah, there we go. In you go, all the way. All the way, there we go. I think that's good. Yep, that's sitting all the way. Oh yeah, for anyone that's wondering, this is the, if you didn't already know, this is the NZXT Phantom, the original one, and it's in red. Why is it in red? Because red is a cool colour. I like red. Right, let's pull this out now. My new MSI motherboard. Let's just pop that there for a second. Yeah? No? Not there? Yeah, let's pop it there for a second. Have a look at that while I go in this box and pull out my Intel water cooler bits. This bag fits conveniently. And that's my mum bag in it. Sorry about that, my phone decided it was going to stop recording at that precise moment. Like I say, bag of water cooling bits for Intel. I'm actually going to assemble this. I'm going to assemble all this with the motherboard out of the case for now. So I've got those bits. For this I need to get, you know, those little bits that I just had to pull out with pliers? I need to pop them in this little back plate. So I need the 1155, 1156 in the case of this one. So on the 56. Come on, there we go, all the way through. Because 1155 and 1156 are essentially the same. It's only a difference of one pin. There we go, 1155. 1155 again, there it is. Because unlike AMD, Intel change their socket size around a lot, and which means it changes all the heat sinks. So some will work with each other, some won't. Whereas AMD's ones, they work back to socket 939, I believe. It was all as old as that. Now, I have screws in here, and I'm not quite sure what they're for because I don't have the book for this motherboard aim for this water block set anymore. So I'm going to work this out as I go along. Right, I'm going to pull the processor out now. Brand new Intel out. I opened it earlier just to check it. I haven't used it or anything yet. So there we go. Spent £260 on this yesterday, 265 because I ordered Saturday delivery. So there's the standard Intel heatsink. Won't be using that because it's horse shit. There it is, that expensive piece of metal silicon. It really is expensive. It's 200 and I paid 244 for it. 244 pounds, right? Intel mounting system, lift that, push that arm down and pull it out to one side, and then you lift it up. God, son of a, yeah. push it down, fill it up, and there we go. Convenient heatsink. Let's just install processor before removing cover and save processor. Okay, so what this is saying is I can put my processor in there before I take that off, or I can put that in there and then processor will pop it out. So the processor, this is smaller than my AMD processor. It has like little gold triangle there, and that lines up with, conveniently, a spot on the motherboard. Now where is this spot on the motherboard it lines up with? Oh, I know how to tell actually. It's on this little black piece of plastic, conveniently. So it's this bottom left corner that it needs to line up with. Which is conveniently the way I'm holding it. So let's pop this in here. I'm going to have to lay this down so it doesn't fall out. Pop that in there, goes under there. Right, and then pull the piece of plastic out. I'm not going to pop it out on the processor, I don't like that. And now I have to put, on the Intel processors there is a considerable amount of pressure on them. There we go. It's all nicely in there. So there we go. There's an i7 in my motherboard. Now this is going to have to, I'm going to need to get these screws out. So it's going to need these. So let's get these out. And then one screw, there's 4 of them, that's great. I might speed this bit up actually. Right, yeah, I'm gonna speed this bit up. Let me just turn in this. There we go. Right, let's get all the screws out of that piece. Let's throw that to one side and go for this one now. So I'm gonna push these screws through. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna see where these line up first, because I'm not quite sure. Because on the Intel Marlin hardware, they have They have 2 holes on there, so I'm not quite sure which one of the 2 holes it's going to be. So, I guess it doesn't matter which way round this goes. Let's reach behind here, and it goes there. Come on, get in there. Come on, there we go. That's all in the hole. That's what she said. Right, I'm just going to now line this up here. See where these holes line up. They all line up like that on the inside. It's convenient, it holds itself there. So, yeah, right, sorry. I'm not even going to pop this off, I'm going to screw it straight in. Straight in there like that. I'm not going to screw them in all the way, because I don't want them in all the way yet. Just need them in enough to hold the back plate on, and hold themselves on. I'll hold this front plate, this little front pressure plate on, there we go. And at some point I need to go down my old college, because my old college, I take it back, it had really bad communication. And so I've had this qualification for the last 2 years, 2 years now it would be. And they never contacted me as to when I could go down and get my certificates or anything. And so I managed to get in contact with my old tutor, and he was able to help me. He said I can go down there, but I wanted to go down there and get my work at the same time, because I spent a year doing a load of work, and they said I could have it. But after a while, I sort of lost contact with my old tutor, and I couldn't get in contact with him. Like the emails would just not send, and so that was annoying, really. Right. There we go, look, you can see all these motherboard standoffs in there. When you install a motherboard in a case, make sure you use these standoffs. Regardless of anything, use them, because the motherboard will just short out on this back plate here and it will kill itself basically, and it will kill probably the processor, possibly the graphics cards, RAM, you know, it will just destroy itself. It's not a good thing. Right, so now I'm going to be mounting this up in there, it seems like. So let's get to it. I'm probably going to speed this bit up as well. I'm going to play music behind this. So the motherboard is considerably lighter than my crosshair. There we go, one screw in. That was the main screw, because that will hold it all in place now. It's like a key screw. Down here should be basically lined up with a screw hole. I'm sorry if my head pops in the way at any point. My neighbours are being noisy now as well, so if you hear them, I apologise. They're noisy bastards. I don't get on too well with my neighbours, in all honesty. No, actually no, I get on okay with the adults, most of them. I don't get on with the kids though, because the kids are noisy fucks. They really are. Right, yeah. There's a screw over in that top corner. The good thing is, on ATX motherboards, which what this is, full ATX, all the screws are in the same place. Same as on a micro ATX, they're all in the same place, and EATX, and possibly XL ATX. I'm not sure about that one though. I've never had an XL ATX motherboard, so don't quote me on that. I would think it is, being as it bears the ATX standard, or it conform to the ATX standard. I would think that it would have screws, the majority of screws in the same place, same as the majority of screws on the EATX be in the same place, because then the EATX goes over here, and an XL ATX, I think it comes over here and it goes down a bit further as well. So this is the boring part of putting all screws in. But I'm gonna make this full guide. Maybe people can find some use from it, even with me talking over. So let's get all these screws in. Also, another thing I think I should point out, I've been doing all of this with a single screwdriver, and thinking about it, I should have put my thermal paste on that processor before I put it in there, because it's going to be a bit more difficult now. But, oh well, shit happens, I will get on with it. And I want to get on with it because I've got some sandwiches behind me that I want to eat. How my mum bought them in a minute ago, a couple of minutes ago. I'm not going to show any software installation. I don't think. I'm going to do that on my own time because it's long, drawn out, and essentially boring. Like this is stuff I like. I like hardware. Hardware's fun. It really is. So I need to, or in my opinion, it's fun. I enjoy it. I could build computers like this all day, every day. I really could. It doesn't bother me. I'm not fussed by it. Damn, I've got some thermal paste on that SATA cable. Son of a bitch. Oh well. Right, and the last screw. I am going to have to go around the back of my motherboard though in a minute, because I need to put my USB 3 cable through, because the Crosshair 4 didn't have a USB 3 header. I'll show you. Just sort of looking at it now. Crosshair 4 didn't have one of these, a USB 3 header for that cable down there. This bit right here. Let me. That USB 3 header. I never had that plugged in. There it goes, focused in. I never had that plugged into my motherboard because Crosshair 4 didn't have one. It just had the USB 3 out on the back there. Let's push all that in. And I'm going to fill up most of, if not all of those USBs there, because I use a lot of USB ports they're of big importance to me. And how long have I been running this video for? 13 minutes now. Good. I hope this is going to come out okay. That's my main thing. But first, right, cleaning off of the thermal paste on the heatsink. So, have a cover this. There's only a little bit left in there. Some more cotton wool. Some more of this, and then just flip that wire over. Just get to cleaning. It all comes off so nicely. This is what I'm going to be cleaning a lot more. I know I'm spreading it around a bit now, but it's okay. Fuck me, it's dried on a bit. It's good, it will come off. Actually, that's another thing. I went to see Fast 6 at the weekend because the UK, for a change, got something before the rest of the world. Normally we're the last to get it. But no, we got Fast 6 before anyone else. So that was nice. I went and saw that. It's not as good as the other Fast and Furious films, and it's like people say the newer ones, like Fast 4, 5, and 6. They're a lot more story driven. They're not so much about the cars anymore. Which, okay, I get it. Some people don't like that. I like it. I still think Fast 6 was a good film. In my opinion, it is a good film. But as I say, some people they prefer like the racing, the street racing, which was about originally. And so, I understand that. I respect that. But I don't mind. I like Fast and Furious. They're good films in my opinion. There's still a tiny weeny bit left in there. Can I get that last little bit out? Just tiny weeny bit. Yeah, like I say, I still like them. I still think they're good films. Fast and Furious 3 wasn't the greatest. It now makes slightly more sense because Fast 6 is now basically the start of Tokyo, or it actually happens partway through Tokyo Drift. And because Tokyo Drift is an old film, I don't mind in saying this, the part where Han flips his RX-7 and dies in it, basically, it blows up, that's actually at the end of Fast 6. That was a bit of a spoiler, I suppose, but yeah. If you watch the film, you'll know. So, yeah, there is that. That's right, I'm going to pop these screws through properly. Oh God, my next door neighbours are singing. We should all fear for our lives, we really should. I'm just going to back these screws out a bit, just so I've got some room to manoeuvre. Now, you heard me say about the hairdryer and why you find out about it. This thermal paste is really thick when it's cold. So, the hairdryer does an exquisite job of heating it up. Because, like I say, cold is really thick, not particularly malleable or anything like that. It's hard to squeeze out the tube. So while that's there, I'm going to find myself a plug socket, which I think I can do quite easily. Please, see here. Just to close that up. Plug socket. I will mute the sound at this point because the hairdryer is quite loud. And so, my mum's hairdryer is going to put that on full heat when it's hot as it can be. And I'm simply going to pick the tube up and turn this on. There we go. That should be good enough. Should be nice and hot now. what I can do from this point, when you put thermal paste on, I found the best thing to do, what a lot of people recommend doing, don't spread it, just a little blob there in the middle. Little blob like that, maybe a bit more. Yeah, there we go, a little bit like that. And then what you do, when you put the heatsink on, in my case a water block, I'm going to put it on upside down like that. What you do is, pop it on, push it, then you tighten it up, because this will spread it out. Actually, I don't like that being like that. I like it being like that. I'm sorry, I think I'm slightly OCD and it has to be perfectly straight up. So what you want to do, tighten these up. What you want to do is also put them in a star pattern, because you don't want to put unequal pressure on the processor. This way, the star pattern keeps it nice and even. Right, there we go. There we go, right. Star pattern, star shape. So you want to cross over the processor. And making sure to keep the heatsink in my case, the water block. Right, so what I'm going to do is now, from this point, I'm going to do one full turn on each one in sequence. So from here, I'm going to go one half. Actually, I'm going to do half turn. That's a better one to do. So one half, one half, one half, and one half. There we go, all half turns. Half turn each. Right, that side's quite tight, so I'm not going to do half turn. Right, half turns on each of these. Half. Half. Right, see, that's tight now. So half, half. Do you know what? It doesn't. At this point, I'm going to say it doesn't matter. I'm going to turn it until I get to the same resistance as the rest of them. So there. That's where pressure becomes more relevant, in my opinion. Like I say, this is my opinion. I take no responsibility for any damage if you follow what I do. So now I'm going to do half turns or quarter turns. So quarter, 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 and quarter. I'm going to do this until I think it's tight enough. So half, eighth there, even eighth there, eighth there, and an eighth there. There we go. Nice and securely fitted. They're all nice and tight. Go around, double check them all nice and tight there. Good. Right, so there we go. That's the processor installed. I've had to go through all of this just to install that processor under there. Right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the RAM. I'm going to plonk the RAM in there. So I want to use these two blue slots. The slots closest to the processor. Because these should be slots A and the two slots A. It's both the same colour, so I want to populate these ones first. So one stick in. Make sure you put the RAM in the right way. It'll only go in one way. Shit. I'm used to my Asus motherboard where there's only a clip at the top and the bottom just slides in. So that's a little bit of getting used to. Not something that I'm planning on doing. I don't plan on taking the RAM out frequently anyway. So there we go. So RAM nicely installed in there. Then, of course, my graphics card, my important part. It's a bit dusty here. Hang on, I'll tell you what I do because it's dusty. Just grab my hairdryer and put it on cold, on the coldest setting, and just give it a blow. I don't have any compressed air at the moment, so I can't use that. So instead, a bit cold air. clean it up nicely. Of course, when you do this, make sure that you push it in all the way. Right, see, and if necessary, support the card. This card weighs probably about a kilo, 1 kilogram. I'm in England, I use kilograms. So this probably weighs about 1 kilogram. And you want to support that up. You don't want all that weight sitting on a PCIe slot. However, in my case, I can actually rest it on the slot below it, so I don't need to worry so much about it. Can do these up now. I'm going to do the bottom one up first. Doesn't really matter what order you do it in, it's just a preference that I do bottom first so I can support the card's weight on that. And then do the top one. Like I say, on my case, they're just thumb screws. I think there's probably quite a few other cases that use thumb screws. There are actually, no probably about it, there are quite a few other cases that will use thumb screws as well. There we go, they're nice and tightly in there. Next thing, I'm going to plug in. I'm going to bring the camera over now. I'm going to plug in this big old 24-pin cable. This big old 24-pin right there. That'll only go in one way as well. So, push this in until that little clip clips over, which it hasn't done yet. There it goes. Here, I don't know if you heard it click, but it clicked over the top. So next, we're going to want to put in those power header up here. What I should have done is, now to look at it, I should have done the bottom I/O stuff first, but never mind. Sorry, this is going to be awkward because I've got to twist it, I think. Oh no, I'm trying to put it in the wrong way. So there we go, up there. It's really awkward in here. There's one. Sorry, I keep dropping the camera down lower. There we go. It's clicked over. And then there will be two. I can get this one in there. Keep doing that. Sorry, it's gonna be awkward. There we go. There's two. There's two. There we go. Clicked in there. Sorry about that. Right. These ones will be considerably easier. The 6-pin PCIe by 6870, plug both of those in. That's the second one. There we go. Nice and clicked in, satisfying click. And then up here, this wire is the one that I want to tuck away again, because I don't want it. Because what this one is, it's a female header, so you can plug a fan into it. I don't, like I say, the fan for it is plugged in up there into that. So now I'm going to take the 3-pin power header, plug into the CPU fan slot up here. There we go. Plug in there. And like I say, I'm going to take this one and just tuck it away up here. Just pop it through there, and I said pop it through there, not on there. There we go. Just sit it through there, and it is nicely up and out the way. It's fairly tidy. There's only a couple of wires exposed now anyway. So down here, I'm going to stop this recording and turn the light on my phone. So 2 seconds. There we go. Put the light on down here. Right, so I know there's a bit of glare back. Sorry. It's better than nothing. Right, so there we go. It's focused in there. I've got USB, and this is my eSATA connector. I'm going to tuck that out of the way for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this USB header here. Take this USB header. It's not USB 3, regardless of the fact that it's blue. I'll just pop it on here. Focus. There we go. Regardless of the fact that it's blue, it's not USB 3, it's only USB 2. You can tell that by the amount of pins that are on it. Come on, stay focused. There's only, like, you see how many pinholes there. There's only 9, which means it's USB 2. So I'm going to pop this one in the, what slot am I going to put it in? I am going to put it into, sorry, I was just looking at the pin arrangement on the other one. I'm going to pop it in this one. I'm going to pop it in the second slot over. Sorry, that's my hand. There we go, I'm going to pop it in there. The reason why I was looking at the pins was this USB header is only one of these little slim ones. If you plug it in the wrong place, it will damage USB stuff plugged into it. However, I looked at where the wires are going from, and it appears it goes in there, like that. Right, next ones I have. Where's the front panel audio? Right, I think in this case I'm going to be looking at where these wires go. These are important wires. They are for my front panel I/O. So I'm just going to put that there. Look at the bottom of my case for now. It's convenient. It comes with these, which have written on them what they are. So I'm going to use these little blocks, just like I used them on my Crosshair 4. And I think it's got a little guide here as to what they are, and as to where they go, which will be very, very handy. So pop these out here. Got this little handout here. So it's just that, all it is. That is enough to tell me. No, it's not, because it's showing pictures from a different motherboard. You cheapos. Yes, I called MSI cheapos. I paid £100 for that, or £80 for that board. So it is HDD LED, or HD LED, reset switch, not quite sure what that one is, power switch, FP power sleep. Right, I don't have that. Sorry, it's not an interesting spot to look at. I know there is speaker, buzzer, speaker, ground, sleep LED, power LED. Right. Oh, I get how it's going now. I just pop that into the ground. I think. Don't get me. Don't quote me on that. I may have to get the book and look at the book. See, this was the old block that I got with my Crosshair 4. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus because of the reflection. But there we go. That was the old block. Two sides with the writing on there for what they do. So, I'm going to grab this book. This thick old motherboard book. There's a big old book here. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to have a read quickly. I'm going to quickly flick through. Preface. No, I want the contents. That's what I want. English. Yeah, I definitely want English. I can't really speak any other language. I learned a bit of Spanish. I never fully learned it. So, contents. Connectors. Quick guide. That be the one I want, EN4 by the looks of it. Yeah, EN4. That's EN11. 954. That's not what I wanted. Actually, take it back. That could be this could be useful. So JD LED is Voice Genie connector. Right. Okay. It's good to know. So JFP2. JFP1, front panel connectors, right. I would guess this is going to be an educated guess because the front panel connectors, one has a row of 5, one has a row of 4. Guessing this goes on the row of 4, and conveniently this will go on the row of 5. So, these wires are impeccably short, so it's going to be a challenge, really will. So on the power switch and reset. Right, so there's my reset. There's my power. Reset and then the power. Right. I need the HDD LED, which is this one, I believe. Yep, that's HDD LED, and that goes on there. I'm sorry you can't see this right now. I'm plugging these wires into a little block. I'll show you in a second after I finish talking to myself. Right, so there's power and reset, and yeah, hard drive light. Yeah, so this being the block of 5, it will have to go on the convenient block of 5. All these wires are together, so the other one is the power LED. Right, if I can slip these under this big old 24, I think it's a 24 pin there, might be the 8, if I slip that underneath there, that gets me some movement. Right, so this is where the blank slot goes. So there's one. Actually, no, I won't put it on there yet. I'll show you when I put it done. This last one is going to be a speaker, which is, where did I? Oh, there it is. Fell down. The little speaker there. It gives a BIOS beeps. They are useful. Now I'm going to take a stab at this being the positive and this being the negative, like that. It's going to be my guess at it. And then I need to put the power LED on the other one, so this will go positive on there, and negative or ground there. And we'll find out if that's right in a minute when I power it up. When I power up my new toy, so to speak. So that's what I was going to do before I plug these in. Right, to bring you in again. There we go. That's the setup there. Come on, focus. Focus on my hand and therefore the wires. If you see, I've got the that's power. Then those ones are nothing. Then there's a speaker. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, phone. I know you can do it. Basically, all the front panel connectors there: hard drive, reset, and the power LED. They're all on there, and those plug into there, that one, and that one. So I'm going to plug those in now. This is the fiddly part of the computer build. It really is. But yeah, this is, like I say, it's essentially a build guide. It really is. And goes on the top like that. There we go. Right. That's that plugged in. Those plugged in there. Next one is the audio, which should be easy because it's only going to be using the HD audio. It's not going to be using this old AC97 one. It's going to be using HD, which means what way around does this go? It goes like that, conveniently. See if I can get in there. Which brings it in. Shut up. Go dumpster diving somewhere else. Is it bottom web you're looking for, you fucker? Yes, I'm mocking my next door neighbour even though they can't hear me. Right, so that's the audio plugged in. What else do I need to plug in now? I need to plug in all of my hard drives. I'm going to do that in a minute. Like I say, I'm going to be going around the back into the wiring of my case, so I can pull the USB 3 around and organise some wires a little bit. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to cut to that, I think. Right, so this is essentially the veins of my computer. All the power cables, all of them. Got my wiring for that fan there. I had to modify that connector. I had to cut the edges off so I could fit the wire in there. Power for my disk drive going from Molex to SATA. Just a spare Molex there, spare couple of fan connectors. Because they're really short cables, so they're not used. They're just meant for the top. But like I say, I'm not using them at the moment. This wire is the fan. This is the fan wire for my rear exhaust fan. And there we go. There's the back plate for the motherboard. Next thing, what I was doing around here was organising this mess of wires here for the drive. I'm pulling the USB 3 around, so let's do that. Let's figure out which one of these is USB 3. It is this one. It's this wire here. So this is going to come round. I guess I'll bring it out underneath my hard drive cables. Just gonna squeeze this through. There we go. Right. Actually, I'm gonna. No, it's good there. It's good there. I'm not gonna fuck about too much with organising it. It's a case in operation. It doesn't need to be excessively tidy around here. It's a part that no one's going to see. It just needs to be functional. So I'm going to put these through. I'm going to pull the SAT cables through in the right order now, so that they show through properly. So I'm going to pull all these back. It's 3. It's 4. Should be another SATA cable somewhere. Where is it? There it is. There's the next one. There's 5. That goes to my disk drive, because I still run it. Some people don't run disk drives. I do. I like to have one. So I need a black cable. This black cable here, the one that I'm tugging on. These are all sort of slid down here, very precariously. Right. That is. This one here is my. This one. This cable is my boot drive, so that goes through at the top on this motherboard. So through the top. Next one will be my game drive, which is going through to this cable, and it is this one. Right, good. Going well so far. My game drive, that's the next important one. After that is my recording drive, which would be conveniently this black one. Good, well, it's going well. It's going well. This black one there. I'll make sure this one stays. This black cable on top. I want to try and keep it ordered for when I bring it around again. And this is the last drive, my storage drive. And of course, the very last one, my disk drive, which I got out of one of my old computers right there. And that's my wiring for my case, the mess that it is. Like I say, doesn't need to be tidy around here. There's no airflow or anything back here of any sort. All it needs is to be functional, which it is. So I can pop this back over it. There we go. Right. Some thumb screws I need now. And there is one. Yeah, you don't need to see this. This is the boring bit. Yeah, this side panel actually, I will point out, it does have the wires pushing against it, so these thumb screws here are quite important because they hold the panel in place. It's not I don't think it's recommended to have it pushing on it like that, but I do. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as it works. It's good. There we go. Back here. Now, unfortunately, what I didn't take into account was my graphics card is in front of the SATA ports, so I'm actually going to pull my graphics card out again now. And pop it back on there. So I ordered it. Let's pull this sticker off. Right, just put that there. I ordered this, so my first one was the black cable. So it's number 1, put number 2 in, start from the bottom, 2, 1, let's go 2, 1 again, 2, 1. These cables are actually, well, these blue cables that I have are from when I originally got my Gigabyte motherboard, because I did start off with the Gigabyte for my AMD, and then I moved to the Asus, and then I moved, well now as you see I've moved to MSI. So I'm going to push this back and plug in this USB 3, and this is the first time I've used this USB 3 on the front of my case. Actually, I need to go around the back again because I need to bring it out of a different slot because it's not flexible enough. So I'm going to try and do this like this. I'm going to do it by touch. So that's going to be the next challenge. Just pull this out again and just reach my way around. Give my case a reach around. There we go. That wasn't so bad. And in it goes. Okay. The wiring for all my drives neatly tucked away. That's the only one that's not so neat. Can't help it, it's not flexible enough to fit through to there. I want it underneath my power cable, so I'm just gonna, this is now me being slightly picky, I want it underneath there. Going underneath these, there we go. Right, there we go. That's better. That's better, looks better now. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to install this whole Heath graphics card one-handed. I'm going to challenge myself. So push that all the way in. Yes, I am holding on to my case, I need to. Push this up, thumb screw in. Okay. See, that's holding all the weight there now. And I want yeah, sorry. I thought I put the wrong thumb screw in there for a second. Just put this one in, just for the sake of putting it in. Right, there we go. It's all in there. Ooh, look, see inside the card, see a little bit of heatsink there. Right, I think, do you know what? I think I'm 99% done now. It's just, oop, and no, it needs to go in there. It needs to go in this one. The front of my case I tried to keep sort of more tidy. The only thing that's not so tidy in here is this sort of mess of wires down here. It's the only thing not so tidy. Right, I think that's done, you know. I think I've got it installed. I think I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to stop the recording and I'm going to move my case back over there, put it together, and I'm going to start it up so you can see it start up for the first time with me. So be right back. Alright, so now I guess it's time for the moment of truth, so to speak. Power it on. Good sign, it's all come on. Everything's spinning up. There we go. I want to press F1. And there we go, I'm in the UEFI BIOS. So, I think it's 10 o'clock at night. It's not. It's there we go. That's the time now. So, this is there we go. i7 3770K, 8 gigs. It's 1300 megahertz memory. I'm going to change that. Yeah. Until I guess until next time, or until later, possibly when I put more videos up. Thanks for watching.